2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. In this game, we'll see the Indiana Pacers against the New York Knicks. For the Knicks, both these teams excited about the matchup, feeling confident that they can prevail. We will see shortly how those aspirations pan out. And we'll get to see Paul George in this one. Obviously, we saw the terrible leg injury he suffered, but he has done more than just come back. In some ways, he's come back better than ever, hasn't he, Kenny?
Yeah, that's impossible almost. I mean, you think about the horrific scare that we all had watching him go down, and he's taken his game to another level, taking central control of the offense, and now he plays incredible defense. How do you do that, Shaq? How does a guy have that kind of injury and be able to come back with that kind of confidence?
Well, it's called heart. The guy has a big heart, and not only that, Kenny, you can respect this as a shooter. His improvement in the three-point shot has been a game changer for him. He's clearly one of the elite talents in the league right now after that injury. I'm happy for him.
Love that Paul George story. Time now for tip-off. Kevin Harlan's got the call.
The tallest building in the state of Indiana, the Chase Tower, rising high above our location today at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. We'll see the New York Knicks facing the Indiana Pacers. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony as well as Doris Burke. And we've got David Aldridge on the sideline. One thing you notice, Doris, both these teams very strong on the backboard.
And that's about effort, right? There's got to be a willingness to mix it up physically, to be able to work hard. And you see teams that are not afraid to scrap and claw. Hey, that's how I played.
I love you did play that way, that's right. But you love rebounders, don't you?
I do, because I think it takes commitment. You've got to continue to work. You know bodies are flying around in there. It's not for the faint of heart.
And now the New York Knicks starters. Melo and Porzingis, the two stars at the forward spots. Rose is out there with Lee, and it's Noah in at the 5. Young with no one around. Off target from outside. Teague against Rose, right wing. Porzingis kicks to Rose. Just 5 to shoot from 13. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. George with the ball. Now Anthony defending. Young for 3. And once again off the mark by Indiana. Stolen by Ellis. Passes it to Young. Back to Ellis. Down low. Here's George. Indiana again missing.
0 for 4. They can't buy a bucket.
And GA, after being such a fixture in the city of Chicago and for so long, Joakim Noah signing with his hometown team, the Knicks, in the last offseason, a bit of a bittersweet end of his time with the Chicago Bulls. A lot of moving parts in his time with Chicago.
Yeah, and, his playing time had dwindled, and it was just, I think, in everyone's best interest for him to move on. It's a great fit in New York, both with the team and the pulse of the city. Clearly was still valued highly around the league, as it took a sizable contract to put him in that Knick uniform.
Back to Lee. It's another look. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
A year ago, he had an 84% success rate on his foul shots. So he was a guy they were always happy to see at the line.
That free throw from Lee is good. Well, for the Pacers last season, they trade Roy Hibbert to the Los Angeles Lakers. David West took far less money, Greg, to leave town. You worried about their front court and that it would be in shambles?
Yeah, and instead, rookie Miles Turner showed himself to be a steal as a shot-blocking, perimeter-shooting big, and it was a best-case scenario. If they could build on that, I think they have a chance to be one of the contenders in that Eastern Conference.
You know, Jeff Hornacek was the man chosen to lead this Knicks team during their coaching surge. You know, you think about, they took a look at several names in and out of the organization, but Hornacek ended up being their guy. It seemed like they felt Hornacek didn't get a fair shake and is underrated as a coach.
4 on the clock. Turner dishes to Miles. Here's Allen, out to Stuckey. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Hits it from three-point range.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
For New York, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Jennings against Young. Jennings kicks to Anthony. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
You know, great scorers just have that knack. Get inside, it's either a bucket or a trip to the free throw line.
The Knicks have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. That free throw missing. And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time.
Uncharacteristic trip to the line for him. Just
He got it!
Wow!
He caught it!
3 points at the buzzer.
An absolute miracle that one went in. A circus shot to end the quarter.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. It's the Pacers up by 1. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Indianapolis. Well, we know what Derrick Rose has been through, the injuries, the expectations. And we asked him how he's dealing with all of it.
I got a clear mind when I play. I can't think about the past. I can't think about if I'm going to hurt myself, if I move the wrong way. When I'm out there, I have a free mind. I have no expectations on myself. I just know that I prepare myself well. There's no pressure.
Well, and Rose says no pressure, but I have to feel like there's at least a little bit, guys, of pressure to get back to where he was.
Yeah, I mean, league MVP in 11, once considered a cornerstone for the NBA's youth movement. Hey, with a little more luck, he may still be that.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Pacers so far, guys.
It's all about the depth, really. The bench has been the difference. The bench play really has separated these two teams.
You know, you can put the work in the offseason, but you've got to have support guys on the roster who actually make a difference.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And so in the game for the Pacers, Teague and Monte are the guard set. Young and Turner up front. And it's George in at the 3 spot. And it's Young, that time on the assist by Teague. Young's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for Indiana. Knicks trail by 3.
And when you think of attack guards, ones who get into the lane at will, Jeff Teague certainly comes to mind. I mean, a great athlete, and it all starts for him with dribble penetration.
Now here's Ellis. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Young, a screen on Jennings. On the wing, George. No good from outside. And here are the Knicks. And talking about Teague, once he blows by defenders, he can hurt you in a number of ways.
Yeah, I mean, a great drive and dish playmaker, owns a nice little teardrop. He's also gotten better at drawing contact and working himself to the line.
Now, here is George. The 3. That doesn't go either for George. they've been looking out of sync offensively.
And they need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Thomas against George. Outside Jennings. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Thomas dishes to Holiday. From deep. That one, no good. So the Pacers will take it the other way. Outside Teague. Turner with the screen. From deep, George. And he's good on the three ball. George has got his first 3 points of the game.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Come on, as a defender, you have got to fight harder to get through that screen and stay with your man.
Now here's Thomas. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Paul George with the steal.
Oh, man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Al Jefferson is checked in for Turner. Ellis outside. Kicks it to Jefferson. Back to Ellis. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And taking a look back at his performance at the line a year ago, a rock solid 79%.
And the first one drops. Indiana making some changes. Lavoy Allen's checked in for Young. C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Jeff Teague. And a switcher also for New York. Anthony's checked in. And so Monte Ellis nails both of them. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Now here's Rose. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Pass to Carmelo to stop the run. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And that concludes the first half. Pacers lead by 8. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
First half in the books. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome back as we break down all the action. For the Pacers, the first quarter was pretty even. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. Defensively and offensively, they improved quite a bit in the second quarter. And they've got a nice 8-point halftime lead to show for it. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Pacers?
Well, one thing that stands out is how few turnovers they had. The offense looked in control. They were making nice passes, moving the ball, setting screens. The confidence just seemed to build, and the lead did too. They're a very steady team, keeping those turnovers down. That's the big factor.
And Kenny, your take on New York?
Well, they need to generate more points in the paint. The defense knew all along that they were going to shoot that jump shot every time down the court. There was no diversity in their offense. No one was able to figure out different things that they were doing. Very predictable offense, and I think that was the difference.
And in a matter of moments, they'll be starting the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. See you, folks.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. course, you've been around the game since a very early age. You've seen the growth of women's basketball. What are your thoughts on where we find that particular segment of the game now?
You know, I think what's amazing is that college women's basketball is actually greater in popularity from a national standpoint than the WNBA. And
is it really?
It is, Kevin, in terms of television ratings and in-arena support. And it surprises me because the game and the growth of the WNBA is significant in this its 20th anniversary. The athletes are better, they're stronger, they're faster, they're more skilled. I wish people would give the WNBA another look.
And New York, looking at who they've got. Melo and Porzingis, the two stars at the forward spots. Lee out there with Rose. And it's Noah in at the center position.
You know, Kristaps Porzingis is an impressive athlete with perimeter skills, and at 7'2". I know his build has been slender, and that's a bit of a concern, but he's staying in the weight room trying to fill that frame out.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage. And the Knicks overhauling their roster with some big names. Of course, the former Bulls, Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, but also shooting guard Courtney Lee, who I think can definitely help them with his defense and shooting.
And he sinks the second. Pacers leading by 5. Teague with the ball. Looking for his first basket still in this one. From deep, Ellis. Offensive rebound. Second shot opportunity. Jefferson gets the bucket. And the Pacers lead by 7.
You know what? You can see there's momentum right now. A nice hustle play there on the glass and the finish.
And we heard some speculation that the Knicks might look to trade away their veterans and look to rebuild around Porzingis. This summer, that was not the case, though.
Well, it seems like rebuild is a dirty word in New York City. There's not a lot of patience for losing. We'll just see how far they can go with this new roster.
Here's Teague. Following the basket by Kristaps Porzingis. Teague the pass to George. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
Indiana making some changes. Miles Turner comes in for Thaddeus Young. Young is subbed in for Ellis. Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for the Knicks. George, no good on the free throw.
And one of the more aggressive teams in the league this past offseason, looking to adjust their roster, the Indiana Pacers. I mean, the trade for Jeff Teague, another for Thaddeus Young, the signing of Al Jefferson. It's going to be interesting to see how all these new players gel in Nate McMillan's system.
Now George, following the three-point attempt by Derrick Rose. Lee against Teague. Young outside. 6 on the shot clock. Jefferson. It's good. And Jeff Teague of Atlanta and now of Indiana. More of a playmaking point guard. That's something the Pacers have lacked for a long time, GA.
Yeah, and he's a guy who looks to push the ball aggressively in transition. And that's something, as you mentioned, the Pacers have been trying to do. Thaddeus Young, another player who fits that mold. Jefferson, more of a half court, but I think he gives them a nice option there with that second unit.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Teague. And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
And offensively, they've been struggling. He just wants to get them back into a good flow and stop forcing shots.
You know, once you get out of rhythm, it's difficult to recapture it. Now they've got to figure some things out.
The Pacers making a switch here. Allen's checked in. Two minutes gone in this third quarter now. They get it again. Here's Porzingis. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Boy, the aggressiveness in the paint from Porzingis, putting the onus on the officials to make a call. You've got to make them decision makers. Boy, you think back to draft night, and Porzingis was roundly booed by Knicks fans when he was taken with the 4th overall pick. But that's ancient history now. I think everyone realizes the talent this young guy possesses.
So he gets them both. And there were even some rumors on draft night that Carmelo Anthony wasn't happy with the pick of Porzingis.
That's a rumor he vehemently denied. They're both perimeter-oriented forwards, and I could see why Melo might prefer a guard or perhaps a more traditional pivot man. The Knicks, though, looking for the upside, and Porzingis has that in spades.
And offensively, they finally seem to be coming around after an ugly first half.
Rose kicks to Anthony. Back to Rose. Porzingis passes to Lee. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. That's on Rodney Stuckey. The Knicks have knocked down 5 of their 9 attempts at the stripe tonight. The free throw drops for Lee. Brandon Jennings, he's checked in for Rose. And so he's able to get one of two. Indiana leading by 10. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. And the wide open shot from Stuckey. No good on the triple. Knicks have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Porzingis kicks to Jennings. The pass to Anthony. 3 seconds left. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. Anthony's got his first bucket in this one. The third quarter comes to a close. Pacers out in front. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. George and Young are the forwards. Teague and Monte are the guard set. And it's Jefferson in at the 5 spot. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Indiana leading by 8. Ellis outside. Now the dish to George. Back to Ellis. It's George on the wing. And they pick up 2. George has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Pacers.
Unbelievable. This guy is completely in a zone.
Here's Anthony. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
You know, Melo, one of the league's all-time great scorers. He crossed over the 20,000-point barrier back in 2014. It's a testament to the volume he produces at.
Now, here is George. Ellis outside. From outside, off the mark. Knicks trail by 8. Holiday left side. Jennings against T. And the call will be against Thaddeus Young. And that'll be his third foul so far. The Knicks making a switch here. Rose is checked in. Anthony kicks to Jennings. A 3-ball. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Now just a 5-point Pacer lead.
You know, you love your star players making others better, and Melo with the vision there.
Here's George. And the foul on Al Jefferson. That's his first foul. Lee's checked in for New York. Knicks trail by 5. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
And Rose wants that leadership position. When the team needs a big bucket, he is ready and willing.
Screen by Young. Elbow shot is on the way. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. 9 points for George.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Not the strongest play defensively, though. I mean, he was taken out by that screen far too easily.
Count that one.
That's a brain freeze right there from the entire defense. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
You know he's always looking to attack. And late in a close ball game, when he catches the defense napping, he's going straight to the rack.
Fast break. Here we go. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, he's not settling. Melo taking it to the D and making himself get to the free throw line.
He hits the first one, and that brings them within 2 here. That one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
Boy, you have to love his poise at the free throw line. He's never rattled, no matter how much pressure he might be under.
Screen by Young. George dishes to T. Shot clock at 6. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
New York calls timeout. They're behind by 1. 27 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey guys, I had a chance to listen in on Jeff Hornacek's huddle with his players. He really got after him in the huddle. He said, look, you can rest after the game. You got to put it all out there if you want to win this one. Back to you guys.
Here's Anthony. Nails it.
Clutch shot right there. That could be the difference maker.
Probably the moment we'll remember from this one.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They trail by 1. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. There's 25 seconds left in the game. Deflects the pass, and out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. There's 21 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And they foul intentionally. That's what they have to do at this point.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2.
And Derrick Rose, the former #1 overall pick in 2008, one of the most athletically gifted point guards the league has ever seen.
Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, those free throws make things a little more simpler right now. They just have to guard against the three-pointer.
.20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's George. That one a little long. And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. And the second of 2 is good. That gives them a 4-point cushion. Timeout called the Pacers. They're behind by 4. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
And a quick bucket and a foul is really the only option at this point.
And key to know who to foul. That's important.
We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Teague for 3. And once again off the mark by Indiana. And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
Two shots.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5.
You know, mark of a great offensive player, gets to the free throw line a ton, and that's Carmelo Anthony right there amongst the career leaders in free throws made.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And those free throws should put the finishing touches on this win.
So it's New York picking up the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Derek, congrats on the win tonight. What do you think was the ultimate factor?
Just playing defense. Our defense turned into offense, and it worked out for us tonight. We definitely don't want to be in that situation, but we just fall away back into the game.
Yeah, you hung in there and were able to come back and overcome the deficit. Thanks, Derek. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.
The 2K Sports Post-Game Show.
And Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Carmelo Anthony.
The pursuit of greatness has always motivated Carmelo, and that motivation showed tonight. He made this a legacy game. This game they're going to be talking about when he goes into the Hall of Fame. Special performance from one of the great small forwards to ever lace him up.
He hit a little over half of his shots tonight. I thought he showed a lot of patience, he made good decisions, and he had good look. Obviously, it paid off.
And that's it for tonight, but we've got a whole new NBA season ahead of us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again very soon.